She escaped slavery, and then turned around and went back. Not once, not twice, but again and again and again, each time risking capture, torture, death. There was a bounty on her head. And if she failed, she wouldn't just lose her freedom. She'd lose her life. Because Harriet Tubman wasn't just running from slavery. She was waging war against it. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery in Maryland around 1822. No birth certificate, no record of her existence. Just a system built to own her. As a child, she was forced into labor early, working fields, hauling heavy loads, surviving off scraps. And violence? That was normal. One day when she was still young, an overseer threw a heavy metal weight at another enslaved person trying to escape. He missed, and it hit Harriet instead. Cracked her skull. She nearly died. From that moment on, she would suffer seizures, visions, and sudden blackouts for the rest of her life. But here's what's wild. She didn't see it as weakness. She believed those visions were messages from God. Guidance, direction, purpose, and that purpose would change history. The first escape. By her late 20s, Harriet reached a breaking point. She had seen enough, heard enough, lost enough. So in 1849, she made a decision. Run. No map, no GPS, no guarantee of survival, just instinct. And the North Star. She moved at night, hid during the day, followed whispers of a secret network. The Underground Railroad. And somehow, she made it. She crossed into Pennsylvania, free, for the first time in her life. Most people would have stayed there, started over, stayed safe. Not Harriet, because freedom alone wasn't enough. Not when her family was still in chains. The missions begin. She went back. That's what makes her different. She went back into slave territory. On purpose. Her first mission? Rescue her family. And she pulled it off. But she didn't stop there. Over the next decade, Harriet Tubman made around 13 missions back into the South. Each time guiding enslaved people to freedom. Men, women, children, entire families, moving in silence, traveling at night, hiding in barns, swamps, safe houses. And she had rules. Strict ones. If someone got scared and wanted to turn back, that wasn't an option, because one person turning back could expose the entire group. So Harriet carried a pistol, not just for protection, but to make sure no one compromised the mission. That's how serious this was. She wasn't just helping people escape. She was running covert operations, and she never lost a single passenger. Here's where the story usually stops. Harriet Tubman, conductor of the Underground Railroad. That's the version most people know. But that's not the full story. Not even close, because Harriet Tubman didn't just fight slavery. She joined the war. But here's something even bigger. Harriet Tubman wasn't the only one doing this. At the same time, she was operating in the Low Country, places like Beaufort, Charleston, Port Royal. Another man was doing something just as bold. Robert Smalls, a man who escaped slavery by stealing a Confederate ship and delivering it straight to Union forces. Now here's where it gets powerful. Even if they weren't side by side on the same missions, they were fighting the same fight, in the same region, at the same time, both helping turn formerly enslaved people into soldiers, into citizens, into a force that would help reshape the outcome of the Civil War. This wasn't just escape anymore, this was transformation, and Harriet Tubman was right in the middle of it. Civil War, from conductor to commander. When the Civil War broke out, Harriet didn't sit on the sidelines. She worked for the Union Army, at first as a nurse and cook. But that didn't last long, because Harriet had something most soldiers didn't. Information. She knew the land, the routes, the hiding places. She became a spy, a scout, an intelligence asset. And then, in 1863, she led one of the most successful missions of the war, the Combahee River Raid. Working with Union forces, Harriet helped plan and guide an attack along the Combahee River in South Carolina. They moved in by boat, struck plantations, destroyed infrastructure, and freed over 700 enslaved people in a single night. 700. Let that sink in. Harriet Tubman, a formerly enslaved woman, just led a military operation against the Confederacy, and won. The cost. But here's the part people don't talk about enough. She wasn't paid fairly. Not during the war, not after. For years, she struggled financially, despite everything she had done. All the lives she saved, all the risks she took, she had to fight just to receive a pension. That's the reality. Hero in action, overlooked in reward. Harriet Tubman didn't just escape slavery. She dismantled parts of it, piece by piece, mission by mission. She saved around 70 people directly and helped hundreds more find freedom. She became a symbol, a strategist, a leader, and proof that one person, with courage, clarity, and purpose, can disrupt an entire system. No army at the start, no power, no resources, just a decision: go back and bring others with her. And if you think this story was powerful, you need to hear about Robert Smalls, the man who stole a Confederate warship and sailed it to freedom. That video is on your screen right now. Make sure you're subscribed. And thank you for rocking with the video until the end. See you on the next one.